trusting the spirit. Wow, that could be a really loaded question for each one of you, or it could be something very short and succinct. Depends on where your ego fits into this conversation. Does it when you trust the ego? Let's start with Maz.
Why did you pick me out of all this crowd?
It was just the way the finger went. No.
Okay, so I guess I have to accept the movement of your finger. Well, I really don't know what to say other than kind of start what we were discussing with Eric before, because he said that I should describe what my mission statement is and what my guideline principles are. And just to make sure that everybody gets the picture, my mission, I shouldn't say my mission statement, my mission is restoring and protection of my own freedom and everybody else's, and adhering and promoting impeccability in words, thought, and action. And
So I'm just going to repeat that a little louder just to make sure everybody can hear you. You said, so your mission is the impeccability in words, thoughts, and actions?
correct. And the principal guideline is being impeccable and just the best I can. I don't know if that is described or you have any question on that. I can describe it to you.
Well, I think that for me makes sense. If I was to say trusting the spirit is being just with what you're feeling, right? Does that make sense to you, Joan?
Absolutely.
Good. So anything else I need to say or?
At this moment, I think you're off the hook. We're just going to go around the room here and see what everybody else thinks.
So your finger gets in the motion again?
We're going to go. I think it's like when we're a kid and you go, okay, Joan answered, like the ball got thrown to Joan. So now it's Joan's turn. Trusting the spirit.
Staying away from routine and staying internally spontaneous listening, I think, for me, because as soon as I try and practice something, then it becomes more routine and then I'm less attentive. So for me, it's almost like forgetting what I knew yesterday so I can pay attention today, which is really hard because I like to do same. So
what do you do then when you know you're in the same, but you want to be present to the now?
I stop it.
And how? That would be the $1 million question for everybody. How do you stop the habits and be in the present?
For me, sometimes it will go right back to just bringing myself to the present, noticing a color, a tree, a flower, a wall, a door frame, that, and just however long it takes me to get back to just being present in the moment and not losing myself in thought and thinking that I'm hearing the nudge of spirit or the whisper or whatever, but actually hearing it, not fooling myself. Well, I'm sure spirit's telling me to do this. And it's like, absolutely not,
Beautiful. What about you, Thunder Bear? I feel like the lightning should be shaking.
Jackie, don't feed that.
The skies are opening up.
Are we good? Trusting in spirit and doing that to me is, I think it's good to have stuff that we think we know, but I think it's also really good at every single moment in our life to be paying enough attention to find out when it changes. because like, if we don't have any certain amount of knowledge in our mind, we're almost kind of useless walking around. But at the same time, we're not evolving if we think what we know is the end of the journey. So it's having that knowledge to know that, like, every step, like, we all get up every day, and whatever our past experiences was, that's all we have to start the day with. That's it. So we get up, we start our day, we think we know something, and then hopefully by the end of the day we know something slightly different. And and be willing and grateful for that, because I find in my life sometimes it takes a while to get to grateful when something really pisses you off, and at the end you learn something from it, right? So those days are harder to be grateful in the moment. It's super easy to be grateful when something just lands, like the beam of light landing on your face, and you're going, oh my God, that's beautiful, I just love this. Like, that's easy, right? Like everyone passes that test. It's just when something like really close that takes you by surprise and is very personal and takes you down an ugly road, that's where the big lesson is. That's the detachment from all the emotion and stuff like that. And I'm not saying even emotions you got to be fully detached from them, because I think that's part of the human experience. But just being okay with every lesson, no matter what flavor it shows up in. And that's challenging.
That's life.
Yeah. It is.
When you were sharing about the journey, I don't know, the visual that came to me was coming to, like, you have to change. It was like the T intersection. It was like go right or go left. And there's more than two choices, though. It's not that just the past, the ego, and the spirit, is it?
It's never black and white. Life is in the gray. I found in my life anyways, there's a handful of stuff that seems pretty obvious. But for the most part, I think it's really comes down to the proof of who we are as a human being by our choices. And that's it. Like, I think, just to expand on that, that's why I think in the Bible, Jesus only ever spoke in parables, because he wanted to know what everyone would do, because he never said go left or go right. So that's where it comes to personal responsibility. You can't go, oh, well, my religion made me do it, or God made me do it, or the devil made me do it, or, oh, my kids were annoying me.
Even those all
Yes. Or you have friends like Joan, like, so it eliminates all the excuses. It comes down to just responsibility. Like, I made the choice. If I got mad, I made the choice. If I got happy, I made the choice.
So trusting spirit is gray areas.
It's trying to tap into that eternal grateful. That really would sum it up for me. Did you not hear me there?
I heard you. I'm
Okay.
I'm hearing some lovely little gray stream water.
Sounds like somebody sitting by a river.
Yeah, well, so I was just seeing if everybody was muted or not. There you go. Okay. All right. If everyone's not hearing it, it's just for me. Yay. Done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So we're going from, most of us here on this call are up here in the land that's commonly called Canada. But right now I'm going up over. Some people would say down under. But I'm going up and over to Tunya and asking her what does trusting the spirit mean for you?
I enjoyed how Joan worded it, because for me it's very similar in that it's very much letting go of everything that I thought that I knew, and just really listening to where I'm guided and what I'm guided to do in any given moment. And that's sort of become my motto, is it's like, what is happening in this present moment that I want to be aware of, or that I'm holding on to. And I find a lot of freedom. Pardon me. I find a lot of freedom in that now. Before, I was so caught up in all of my beliefs and my processes and my routines and whatnot, and I felt secure in it. However, now that I've let go and I've trusted and stepped into listening to spirit and what feels right for me, in any moment, it's when that first started happening, it completely baffled me, because it's like I really let go of it, of feeling control of anything, which would have been a really frightening thing, but now is really, really freeing and really liberating. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this feeling. Yeah.
I can relate to what you're saying, because I was just saying to someone this week, it feels like the stronger I kind of create boundaries, which would have before been a box for me, thinking that's limiting my life. But like, so now I feel like I'm stronger in that creation of that box, but that has given me a freedom of, like, there's so little that I've done with, and it seems like there's so much more that's possible that I can't even imagine. Like, I don't know that I don't know. And I was surprised to feel that extra freedom in that space.
Yeah, it's very much stepping into trusting myself as well. And I think that for me, that was what the boxes were, is that I didn't and wasn't listening to what I was guided to, because I perceived them as threatening or wrong, because I listened to other people's perspectives and not my own. And now that I do listen to my own, oftentimes I feel like I'm really on the, we'll use the black and white kind of analogy. I feel like there's all these people on the black side and here's me on the white side, or vice versa, but the extreme of it. And it's just interesting to sort of stand on this side of on the outside of the box now, and see myself from a different perspective and see others from different perspectives. And yeah, it's a really, I'm learning a lot. It's very good. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, the different perspectives are why there's so many of us here sharing, because we each have different perspectives. We're designed to be unique and have different perspectives, and we want to get away from that concept of, one right and one wrong.
Can I say something? Am I allowed to say something?
No.
Fine.
Yeah. Yes.
No. It for me, like listening to Tunya talk about that, like spirit and us are one and the same. So when you're trusting spirit, you are trusting yourself. But we've just, the society we've built has got us to medicate enough with, not only medication, but like with commercials, TV, whatever, YouTube, you name it. Like you can find your drug and medicate all day long. And every one of those things is, I think, absolutely designed to help us stay so busy that we forget we are spirit.
But that doesn't include us, because if you're watching us on YouTube, you are.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It depends on how you use it, right? Like if it's like I watch my son, and he's on his phone and he's just flipping video, like, and he's got like 3-second attention span, like video. And I said, like, why don't you go do something? It's like, oh, leave me alone. Okay. And that's how we are in life, right? Like, and I can say that from experience now because I'm building a house, right? So like I'm going like, plumber, electrician, like that's my video, and I'm flipping it and flipping it and flipping it and flipping it. And at the end of the day, I'm exhausted and I don't really want to look anywhere else. I want to have a nap on the couch when I get home. And that I've expressed that to Jacqueline. That's kind of like really bothering me because I want to spend more time just focus on setting myself free instead of just like, because all that other stuff is basically a trap. And I want to set myself free. So that I just wanted to share that with you guys. That's what I was getting when Tunya was speaking there. So
Yeah, contact Eric.
what's that?
You can contact Eric. You don't need to flip anything. Eric is man of all trades.
So we're going to go to Eric then and ask Eric what trusting the spirit means.
You're muted. You're muted, Eric. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
How much time do I have?
Well, when you get the hook, it's done. But other than that, go for it. Whatever is moving through you, we trust the process.
Well, I'll tell a little bit of a story. I'll try to keep it short. 12 years old, I was walking in the street of Lamech. I was going to the pool room, and then I heard a voice saying to me something like, "You're gonna do such a that," and then it was like a jolt coming to me, to the point that I looked up in the sky and I was like, "What?" And I was wondering, what was this? What was this thing I heard? And it's like I had a feeling of what I'm gonna do is I have to be careful. I have to learn. I have to get ready. Whatever it was, and that kind of stays with you, these experiences. To me, that spirit has been coming different times in my life to guide me, to guide me, to guide me all the time. And in 2020, I went to meet Peter. Peter that we did the celebration of life in Ottawa.
Yes.
I went to meet Peter in Manitoulin Island, and just prior to go there, I went to. I was introduced to a First Nation woman, and I went to North Bay or those areas. Got to meet her and traveled all the way to Manitoulin Island with her, and then talking to her, and we were going to record a song, and she was coming to sing because she used to be a professional singer. And through the journey of talking with her, and she was connected, and she scheduled meetings with the elders of the First Nation network. She was calling me, she was saying, "You're Silver Fox," because of the wisdom I was sharing about my understanding of the world and stuff. So this week, I met someone, and she brought a picture of me at her work. And one of the lady over there last Monday said, "He's a silver fox." So that word came back to me. And this week I worked on, silver fox. And I talked to a few people. They said it's catchy. I almost wrote that name on my thing, and if I would have seen Thunder Bear, I would have put Silver Fox than my name, because I feel this is a spirit guiding me. And
it's not the fact that most of us women just think, "Oh, you guys, when you get older."
No. I don't see it like this. To me, that First Nation lady just was telling me, you have wisdom, and silver fox is about, fox is wisdom, is wise. So in light of listening to the spirit, And what is the theme again?
Trusting the spirit.
Trusting the spirit. I have been trusting the spirit a whole lot. And just when I was taking my shower today, I came with this. The voice of the ego is so loud that you don't hear the whisper of your spirit. And I'm writing about this. I'm writing poetry and music inspired by what I witnessed Muzz have done in his life, as I see the light at the end of the tunnel that can really bring solutions to society, and a plausible path, a practical path. And I stand behind him. When you ask me, Jacqueline, to come and share my song, I'm sorry if I made you feel like I was reluctant to do so, but I really mean that. I'm not interested to make decisions of my own based on my own perception. I'd rather make my decisions based on having a mentor to bring us in consideration of so many things we don't know.
This is how you control people.
And Muzz is really wise. He's really wise, but I would not have had the insights and the downloads from Silver Fox. Let's call him Silver Fox, my spirit. So the song you're gonna hear is not from me, it's from Silver Fox. The poetry I share is not from me, it's from Silver Fox. And as Muzz has been teaching me, I'm just a conduit to bring the message to the world. So when you say trusting the spirit, I've been trusting the spirit all my life.
Beautiful. Thank you. I will play your song shortly. I'm going to go to White Warrior, and as long as his connection is staying with us, because it's like you were in and out for a while there. So, is your mic working?
Yes.
Okay. So
I'm on a Wi-Fi, and that's why my connection is off. But I'll stay on as long as Spirit allows me. I was thinking about it as I arrived home, and my internet connection, it wasn't working, and I was just showing up from work, and I was thinking, oh, this 6 o'clock thing is rushing on me, and I was thinking it's a good thing I'm liberating myself from sort of this 9 to 5 that I've got going on, and I was thinking, oh, I need to, because I've made a choice. I've decided that I'm freeing myself from 9 to 5 work, and I'm going to trust in spirit to provide for me, and I'm going to do the work and experience the experiences that my spirit came here to do on earth this lifetime. I've chosen. I've got a date. It's August of this summer. I'm leaving sort of work life and going into creative life. And I was thinking to myself, I need to, now that I have a date and I've made a choice, I need to make a plan. I need to plan this out. And then I was this is as I'm setting up my laptop 10 minutes ago, and then I start laughing at myself, like, no, you need to get out of the way. So because because all of my dreams are coming true. Everything that I've ever wanted to do, I've had this vision of creating a place for people to come, or whatever. I don't even know what to call it. Let's say a retreat center, or just this place where people can come and connect with spirit. And I've had this vision for 20 years, and I've been trying to make it happen myself for 20 years, and it hasn't, right? And just in the last little while, I've gotten out of the way, and it's all coming together now. It's happening, magically, spiritually, just beautifully. And so I'm in it. I'm right in it, and I have to keep reminding myself to get out of the way. I have to keep. Even just today, I was gonna write down the steps, and I know darn well none of those steps, or maybe one or two, will happen, but most of them, it's better than what I can imagine. It's bigger than what my brain and my ego can construct. And so following spirit for me in this time right now means getting out of the way and trusting. Right? Those are the steps for me, staying in that trusting and knowing that I don't know all of the steps, and knowing that I am guided, and just trusting and going forward with that from my heart and from my spirit. And because it's happening, I just have to just stay out of my own way, and it's easy to say and to do is a daily practice. It's a daily chore of reminding myself that there's forces that are greater than me, and if I allow those forces to work through me, it'll be better than what I can imagine by myself. And so that's what trusting spirit is for me in this moment. It's just getting out of my own way and trusting, and walking in faith and in humility, because I have to be humble enough to allow spirit to work through me, and know that it's not coming from me. It's coming from that part of me that is connected to all, and so that's bigger than just me, and just allowing that to work through me. That's my process right now. Yeah.
I think that's everybody's journey, is to notice what we're noticing, and how generally we tend to put ourselves in the way, unless we're like Maz and we're just like, completely removed from the situation. He just mentoring everybody and controlling them.
I have muted myself so I don't interfere with him. Because I don't want to get unbinded.
This is like, life can be very much fun as you unravel the process, right?
Life is really much fun.
Thank you for being.
I apologize for being so, but I truly believe life is a game that we have to play, having fun, without being concerned about its outcome. Just play the game.
And are there rules to the game?
Just play the game. Don't be concerned about if you are the winner or loser. Just play. Enjoy the most.
Yes. Like as if we're children playing in a sandbox.
Exactly.
We're just playing.
This is why I always prefer to be part of the children when they get together. I act worse than they do, as far as the monkeys are concerned. So, because they are really open, they don't have limits. We adults, are formed and they have a lot of limits. And it's not easy to overcome those things quite often. So I try to be as short as I can, or childish.
We all can be pretty childish around here, I have found. Because I think that's where the magic lies.
Yeah, so when your childish magic works, but in my case, I think the magic seems to be coming also, has two sides. And I don't know how to say this, but the point is, though, I really kind of was feeling quite lonely for quite a while because of my thought pattern, living style, or whatever. I was amongst huge number of people, but I never felt that I belonged to that. And a few years ago, around 2010, happened that somehow Eric was put on my path, and I tried to kick him out of my life. And I didn't mean that. I should have just told him, get out of my life. But somehow, he stuck to me in a way that I have failed to get him off my back. So,
Well, I have to say something. My defense.
I don't think I attack you, yeah.
Well, when I saw Muzz, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. And I was jumping all over the place because, yeah, the ego was running the show. Okay? So I had my lessons to go through. But in 2011, we went to a restaurant. We spent, when I was going to meet Muzz, I would spend the whole day just talking, and he would not tell me what to do. He would just tell me stories and stories and stories, like long stories. And I was like, why are you telling me those stories? Just tell me what it is, you know? And then one time I told him, Muzz, why don't you tell me what to do? He said, well, I know how to fish, but if I give you my fish, you're going to come back for me for another fish. So I want to teach you how to fish. That's why I'm telling you stories. And then I was in the ego. So we went to that restaurant. And after that, he looked at me and he said, I was jumping all over the place. I was really excited. I had that vision for the world and I wanted to prepare. And I was like, I was witnessing what he was doing with growing food and all the beneficial technologies and his legal strategies that was creating success. And I could see like, oh, wow, this is what we need. And then I could not express to him what I was saying. How do you express a vision, before it's mature, right? I was in the process of transforming myself and downloading from Silver Fox. Then turn around and Muzz looked at me after the restaurant and he said, this is a breakup. He looks at me right and straight in the eyes and this is a breakup. Like, have a good life, Eric. And I looked at him and I was like, oh no, you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue what's coming. And I looked at him and I did what I do. I went smiling and I slapped him on the shoulder and I said, you don't know it, but in the future we're gonna work together. And he looked at me like I was from another planet. I was like, what are you talking about? And I went on my path. And in 2012, I went to visit him in Toronto. Came with my collaborator. I met some people. I created an organization called the Universal Alliance. And I started practicing creating video and dealing with complexity and really digging in the rabbit hole to find out what happened in history? Why are we into this mess today? And I would see, I foreseen this crisis back in 2008 with the big vision that I had, again from the Spirit. And I shared that a story with you guys in Ottawa when you came to do the circle, the healing circle, right?
Mhm.
So in 2012, I went to see Maz, and Maz was expressing to me his challenge of the simple logic that he's got that people don't get because it's so simple. People don't get it, and I said to him, "Well, what are the principles to build an equitable society? Because that's what I was looking for." And when you ask Maz a question, he really takes a challenge. So he put himself straight in the chair, grabbed the grabbed the pen, and he wrote on a piece of paper 4 little phrases. I took those phrases. I didn't meet him for long, but I took those phrases. We talked with my collaborator Joan in New Brunswick that Maz I've met last week, just before, for the first time, just before talking to you on the phone, Jacqueline,
Mhm.
with Corey. And we talked about those 4 little lines for 3 years because it was full pack of wisdom. And we created the guiding principles of the Universal Alliance, and we built everything on that. And in 2018, and I want to finish my thing very shortly with a poem, maybe that Silver Fox gave me. I'm going to use him now.
He'll be like, "Where's Silver Fox? Like, where's Waldo? Where's Silver Fox?" There you go.
Silver Fox. Well, when I went to meet with Maz in 2018. The last time I saw him was 2012, and I went to see him, ask him for coming for lunch at restaurant. And then when we sit down in a restaurant, he said, "Eric, now I'm ready. I'm at a farm. I want you to come there." I went there the first week of 16. I named it the Summer of Wisdom. And I started learning what he did in his life and all the things he's done around the world and all the court cases, the precedents he created in court in Canada. And I started taking some notes. I have 36 pages of notes. I got sick and tired of writing stuff. It was all important. But before the first week I went there, I came back to Toronto because we were traveling to Toronto. He was going to see his wife. And the week we were going back over there, I took off from work completely because I thought this is something I need to go through with him to really get to know him. And when I came back for my first visit in Toronto, this poem came out 4:00 in the morning, May 4th, 2018. Because I date everything that is coming to me from the Spirit.
Okay. So before you read the poem, I want you all to just take a moment and think of where were you May 4th, 2018, and see if
Yeah.
the poem resonates from that perspective.
From witnessing what I saw Maz doing, this came to me. Profound reflections about possibilities. You have my attention, uniting abilities. The question of integrity, always of concern. Spiritual authenticity, it will be fun to learn. I cherish relationships with great souls for success. Let's build a ship to propel progress. A bond of trust, fusing together, impeccable and just, making the world better. Share a smile and wisdom. Engage with creation, uniting all nations. Simplicity, the ultimate sophistication.
Thank you, Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
He,
That is how he glued himself to me. So I don't know what to do with him.
Well, we're here today, so you guys have any advice to give Maz?
well, one of the things that's just coming to me is that I think each of us have had visions or spirit speaking to us, from early on. And I would say that probably that has happened to everybody, whether they've noticed it or not, is a question that only they could answer. But in this process, like I've just was realizing how Joan, when we made the call just to you about, hey, we got this idea, and you're like, I was dreading the call. Right?
Yeah.
You want to share about that, because I think that's important. Sometimes, like if Greg was saying, when things are working the way we want them to work, we're all like, "Oh, we're in the flow. Spirit's great." And when we're feeling guided to go in a different direction, or it's not going, it's like, yeah, really. So you got the call.
Yes. Well, actually, it happened at the fire.
Okay.
When I went to the fire, it was like I walked away and I went, "Oh, when the call comes, I'm gonna have to say yes." Most people, you would think you would be doing cartwheels, but then you know that calling for that kind of authenticity or that kind of trust or honesty in your life, it's not going to be all sunshine, rainbows, and roses. There's going to be some awkward and some difficult moments. So when that call came, I was like, yes. I know I have to say yes, because that's the only option I have. It's so much for free will.
I wasn't going to take no as an answer.
Yeah, I knew that too. So,
Maz has been training me on the side.
Well, it's that unspoken accountability when you are with a community of people, when they look at you and they must go through the process of asking you something that they, I'm going to ask you a question and you have no choice. So,
But I never noticed anyone hiding behind Eric.
You're muted, Eric.
That will be later. I don't care for now. I'm the student.
Yeah. I think we should be muted, you and me.
But Jacqueline, I have a question for you, if I can.
Yes.
What inspired you to invite me for the music? I'm just curious.
For me, it would be spirit. It literally was when we were in Ottawa, and we met like October this past year in Ottawa. I had felt like there was some connection that was going to happen, and the music was a part of it. And then, as Greg and I had talked about that week, it's just like we just watched everything fit together so nicely. Like we just wanted it to continue, but ultimately everybody had to go and do their stuff and work on their things, grow their own garden, prune their own garden, however it was. That's how the creator works, is that we trust the process. When we can actually trust the process, you can kind of let go and just do your own thing instead of focused on the plan, like White Warrior was saying. When's it going to happen? You just can go and let go, and then all of a sudden I get the thought and it says, oh, I need to talk to Eric about his music. And then I reached out to Corey, and that's it. So I just to be unattached to the results of what I received. But I know when I receive something, I'm to take action on it, and that sometimes is just making an approach to somebody is the experience.
Yeah.
May I now ask you a question, Jacqueline?
Yes.
I have discussed it with Eric several times, so he may know where I'm coming from. If he doesn't, then I explain it later. You met both of us at that meeting, correct?
Yes, I did.
You connected with him, not with me.
I
You are
connected.
more than free not to answer this question,
Oh, okay, okay.
but I would love to know if you are okay with it to tell me why you did not connect with me. Because that is my problem. I know that. It's not you. I'm taking this as an example.
So I can make up a story and tell you and feed you whatever it is you want to hear. But the truth of the matter I was connected. Like when we were in Ottawa, I totally respected, and I thought I should share that with you. That we're so committed to the impeccability of words, because Tanya and Greg will know for sure that I'm a picker of the words. So I was like, oh, we have that all in common. That's pretty cool. And you are always very lighthearted with it. When it comes to what I receive, the filters aren't there. So it's just like I want to connect with Eric. And I actually thought Eric, I couldn't remember Eric was Eric. So maybe this will make you feel better, Moz. I thought Eric was Adam. I reached out to Corey and I said, hey, Corey, I have a feeling I need to connect with Adam and his music. And she goes, you mean Peter? And I'm like, no, not Peter. I was like, Peter would love to have his music played, right? And I'm like, no, not Peter. The other gentleman wasn't that Adam? And she's like, oh, Eric, right? She said, does that make you feel better, Moz? I didn't really remember Eric either.
Remember the music.
Yeah.
I remembered you had 4 letters in your name. Okay, just and it began with a vowel, and the music was good, and that was it. No, there you go.
Well, regarding the song, just quickly, it's about what me and Maz see as a potential to happen. The song is about this.
Well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm going to, as I was going to say, may I play the song? And as I do so, Babe is joining us. So we can just let him listen into the song that you wrote, and then we can bring him into the conversation and bridge the gap on why we're here and trusting the Spirit.
Before you do that, if you don't mind, first off, I would like to really thank you for your input, because if I understood you correctly, exactly that's what's happening. I don't know why, if it's my spirit or whatever it is. My filtering system this seems to be not in tune with most people, including those that are really open and in touch with the spirit, and that's what I was kind of raised that issue. We discussed between Eric and myself. I said, Eric, do you really see how people come close to you? And almost everybody ignores me.
Oh, you go around.
Whatever. Sorry?
They go around the Maz. They just avoid Maz completely.
Without me saying a word or anything at all. Somehow this is happening. That's why I thought, because of your openness or what your the spiritual character, to ask you to see, because I have been saying, Eric, that because of whatever is in me, people feel kind of uncomfortable or sometimes even threatened, which is exactly opposite of what or who I want to be. So I thought to ask you. Thank you for being open.
Well, and Maz, just maybe this will make you. I'll speak from just let you know that for most of my life, although it may look to other people that I was surrounded by friends and community, I was always like the Dr. Seuss book. Instead of "Are you my mother?" it was like "Are you my community?" And so I was very much the same thing. And I think you can see Tanya's head's nodding. Joan. A lot of us felt like nobody got us either, even though it may look like others were gravitating to us. So for me, the first one that got me, truly got me, really was Greg. When we talked, and it was like, oh, someone that speaks the same language, right? And
Finally.
yeah, and so this is what this group is really about, is that all of us are coming together and we're doing our best to hold that space of unity and respecting each individual's perspective, because we need a Maz and an Eric and a Just Joan and a White Warrior and a Thunder Bear and a Sabe and a Tanya. We need everybody's perspective to make the circle.